you abroad somewhere getting shot at. What happened?
Got shot.
She's always getting at me, saying I weren't a real man.
Wasn't a real man.
What?
It's not weren't, it's wasn't.
Oh.
Go on.
Well, then I don't know how it happened, but suddenly there's a knife in my hands. And you know, my old man was a butcher, so I know how to handle knives. He learned us how to cut up a beast.
Taught.
What?
Taught you how to cut up a beast.
Yeah, well, then I done it.
Did it?
Did it? Stabbed her! Over and over and over. And I looked down and she wasn't moving no more. Anymore. God help me, I don't know how it happened, but it was an accident, I swear. Hey, you gotta help me, Mr. Holmes. Everyone says you're the best. Without you, I'll get hung for this.
No, Mr. Buick, not at all. Hanged, yes.
What the hell are you doing?
Bored.
What?
Bored!
No.
Bored! Bored!
Darling. Oh. It's a head. A severed head.
Just tea for me, thanks.
No, there's a head in the fridge.
I was wondering if you'd like to have coffee.
Black, 2 sugars, please. I'll be upstairs. Ah, Molly, coffee, thank you. What happened to the lipstick?
It wasn't working for me.
Really? I thought it was a big improvement. Mouth's too small now.
Was that it?
Is that what?
We've only just met, and we're going to go look at a flat.
Problem?
We don't know a thing about each other. I don't know where we're meeting. I don't even know your name.
I know you're an army doctor and you've been invalided home from Afghanistan. I know you've got a brother who's worried about you, but you won't go to him for help because you don't approve of him, possibly because he's an alcoholic, more likely because he recently walked out on his wife. And I know that your therapist thinks you're limp psychosomatic, quite correctly, I'm afraid. It's enough to be going on with, don't you think? Important.
Not important. It's primary school stuff. How can you not know that?
But if I ever did, I've deleted it.
Deleted it.
Listen, this is my hard drive, and it only makes sense to put things in there that are useful. Really useful. Ordinary people fill their heads with all kinds of rubbish, and that makes it hard to get at the stuff that matters. Do you see?
But it's the solar system.
Oh, hell, what does that matter? So we go around the sun, if we went round the moon, or round and round the garden like a teddy bear, it wouldn't make any difference. All that matters to me is the work. Without that, my brain rots. Put that in your blog. Or better still, stop inflicting your opinions on the world.
Brilliant! Yes! 4 serial suicides and now a note. It's Christmas. Mrs. Hudson, I'll be late. Might need some food.
I'm your landlady, dear, not your housekeeper.
Something cold will do. John, have a cup of tea. Make yourself at home. Don't wait up.
Oh, this is a prime stock. Must be expensive.
Mrs. Hudson, the landlady, has given me a special deal. Owes me a favor. A few years back, her husband got himself sentenced to death in Florida. I was able to help out.
Sorry, you stopped her husband being executed?
Oh, no, I insured it.
It's a skull.
Friend of mine. Any good?
Very good.
Seen a lot of injuries then. Violent deaths.
Oh, yes.
Bit of trouble too, I bet.
Of course, yes. Enough for a lifetime, far too much.
Want to see some more?
Oh, God, yes.
The name's Sherlock Holmes and the address is 221B Baker Street.
Shut up. I understand you were thinking. It's annoying.
Dear God, what is it like in your funny little brains? It must be so boring.
How was it?
Great. She's great.
Who?
Good job.
She?
It. Oh, they're just a pair of shoes. Trainers.
Good.
They're in good nick. I'd say they were pretty new, except the sole has been well worn, so the owner must have had them for a while. The very 80s, probably one of those retro designs.
You're on sparkling form. What else?
And they're quite big, so a man's, but there's traces of a name inside in felt tip. Adults don't write their names inside the shoes, so these belong to a kid.
Excellent. What else?
That's it.
That's it.
How did I do?
Well, John, really well. I mean, you missed almost everything of importance, but, you know. The owner loved these. Scrubbed them clean, whitened them where they got discolored, changed the laces 4 times. Even so, there are traces of his flaky skin where his fingers have come into contact with them, so he suffered from eczema. Shoes are well worn, more so on the inner side, which means the owner had weak arches. British made, 20 years old.
20 years?
They're not retro, they're original. Limited edition, 2 blue stripes, 1989.
But there's still mud on them. They look new.
Someone's kept them that way. Quite a bit of mud caked on the soles. Analysis shows it's from Sussex with London mud overlaying it.
How do you know?
Pollen. Clear as a map reference to me. South of the river, too. So, the kid who owned these trainers came to London from Sussex 20 years ago and left them behind.
So what happened to him?
Something bad. He loved those shoes, remember? He'd never leave them filthy. Wouldn't leave them go unless he had to. So, a child with big feet gets... Oh.
Don't make me order you.
I'd like to see you try.
Think it over.
Goodbye, John. See you very soon.
Who cares about decent? The game, Mrs. Hudson, is on. I'm a consulting detective. The only one in the world that invented the job.
What does that mean?
It means when the police are out of their depth, which is always, they consult me.
The police don't consult amateurs.
One possible explanation of some of the facts. You've got a solution that you like, but you're choosing to ignore anything you see that doesn't comply with it.
Like?
The wound's on the right side of his head.
And?
Van was left-handed. Requires quite a bit of contortion.
Left-handed?
I'm amazed you didn't notice. All you have to do is look around this flat. Coffee table on the left-hand side, coffee mug handle pointing to the left. Power sockets habitually use the ones on the left. Pen and paper on the left-hand side of the phone because he picked it up with his right and took down messages with his left. You want me to go on?
No, I think you've covered it.
I might as well. I'm almost at the bottom of the list. There's a knife on the breadboard with butter on the right side of the blade. Because he used it with his left, it's highly unlikely that a left-handed man would shoot himself in the right side of his head. Conclusion, someone broke in here and murdered him. Only explanation of all the facts.
But the guy...
Used a fountain pen, Parker Duofold, iridium nib.
She?
Obviously.
Obviously. That was amazing.
You think so?
Of course it was. It was extraordinary. It was quite extraordinary.
It's not what people normally say.
What do people normally say?
Piss off. And is your wife away for long?
Oh, don't pretend you worked that out. Somebody told you that.
Your deodorant told me that.
My deodorant.
It's for men.
Well, of course it's for men. I'm wearing it.
So, Sergeant Donovan.
Mance.
Gay.
Sorry, what?
Nothing, hey.
Hey, just ignore it.
I'm not ignoring it. Putting my best man onto it right now.
Right, good. Who's that?
John!
Oh, I am playing. This is my turn. The shaving foam behind your left ear. Nobody's pointed it out to you.
traces of where it's happened before, so obviously you live on your own. There's no one to tell you. But there's a photograph of children. The children's mother's been cut out of the picture. If she died, she'd still be there. Photograph's old, but the frame's new. You think of your children, but you don't get to see them. Strange father. She took the kids, but you still love them, and it still hurts. Ah, but there's more. Your clothes, recently laundered, but everything you're wearing is at least 3 years old. Keeping up appearances, but not planning ahead. And here you are on a kamikaze murder spree. What's that? 3 years ago. Is that when they told you?
Told me what?
That you were a dead man walking.
Sherlock?
What is it? What?
Serial killer's always hard. You have to wait for them to make a mistake.
Rachel! Did you see? Rachel!
Look at you lot. You're all so vacant. Is it nice not being me? It must be so relaxing. Rachel is not a name.
Then what is it? What?
Anderson, don't talk out loud. You lower the IQ of the whole street.
I'm not a psychopath, Anderson. I'm a high-functioning sociopath. Do your research.
Hi, I have 2 tickets reserved for tonight.
And what's the name?
Holmes.
Actually, I have 3 in that name.
No, I don't think so. We only booked 2.
And then I phoned back and got one for myself as well. I'm Sherlock.
What's it worth?
£9 million.
Oh my god! Oh my god! 9 million!
But where were you headed from? Where did the taxi drop you?
Right.
Eddie Van Koon brought a package here the day he died. Whatever was hidden inside that case, I've managed to piece together a picture using scraps of information.
Sherlock.
Credit card bills, receipts. He flew back from China, then he came here.
Sherlock.
Somewhere in this street, somewhere near. I don't know where, but
That shop over there.
how can you tell?
Look at his diary. He was here too. He wrote down the address.
Sorry, but I've already spoken with 2 policemen.
No, we're not from the police. We're
Sherlock Holmes. Very old friend of your husband's. We grew up together.
I'm sorry, who? I don't think he ever mentioned you.
Oh, he must have done. This is horrible, isn't it? I mean, I just can't believe it. I only saw him the other day. Same old Ian, not a care in the world.
Sorry. My husband has been depressed for months. Who are you?
Really strange that he hired a car. Why would he do that? It's a bit suspicious, isn't it?
No, it isn't. He forgot to renew the tax on the car, that's all.
Oh, well, that was Ian. That was Ian all over.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it?
I am on fire!
Just met a friend of yours.
A friend?
An enemy.
Oh, which one?
Hey, Sherlock, what are you
John, concentrate. I need you to concentrate. Close your eyes.
doing? What? Why? Why? What are you doing?
I need you to maximize your visual memory. Try to picture what you saw. Can you picture it?
Yeah.
Can you remember it?
Yes, definitely.
Can you remember the pattern?
Yes.
How much can you remember it?
Well, don't worry.
Because the average human memory on visual matters is only 62% accurate.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I remember all of it.
Really?
Yeah, well, at least I would if I can get to my pockets. Took a photograph. Do people usually assume you're the murderer?
Now and then, yes. 4 people are dead. There isn't time to talk to the police.
So why are you talking to me?
Mrs. Hudson took my scarf.
All right. Do you have a boyfriend? Which is fine, by the way.
I know it's fine.
You. Mrs. Hudson, Dr. Watson will take the room upstairs.
Says who?
Says the man at the door. I've disappointed you.
It's good. It's a good deduction, yeah.
Don't make people into heroes, John. Heroes don't exist, and if they did, I wouldn't be one of them.
So this is a hit?
Definitely. The golem squeezes the life out of his victims with his bare hands.
But what has this got to do with that painting? I don't see...
You do see, you just don't observe.
All right. Girls, calm down.
Human eyes.
Put those back.
They were in the microwave.
It's an experiment.
Good evening, Mycroft. Try not to start a war before I get home. You know what it does to the traffic.
Interesting, that soldier fellow. It could be the making of my brother. Or make him worse than ever. Either way, we'd better upgrade their surveillance status. Grade 3, active.
Sorry, sir. Whose status?
Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson.